Welcome back to the latest Benidorm news update. If you're here because you want to know what's going on in Benidorm town almost in real time, then you are on the correct channel. Welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's me, Anna, with you here, and welcome to the latest Benidorm news update. As usual, we will cover the tourism update, what's going on right now and how busy it actually is. And we'll also cover two main news, which today will be an absolute shame that has been posted even in UK's newspapers. Something that happened in Benidorm, but doesn't stay in Benidorm already. And the last news will be about what is going on with the airline companies that got a fine, but now will be approved to charge for a hand luggage. Whenever you're traveling around Europe, plus the weather forecast and much, much more in today's latest news update. Let's begin. Let's start with the tourism update first. More than 60% of all the tourists right now at this moment in Benidorm are international ones. Only 40% and even slightly less than that are Spanish, which is incredible, and it is insane to see how many British tourists and overall international tourists, mostly British though, are in our region now. Most people said it was empty, but I bet that no one says that already since it is packed everywhere we go. And you'll see it in the upcoming videos here on the channel. Don't worry. There's plenty of people in hotels. Just these last days, we filmed some more hotels for you guys, which will be coming out really, really soon here on the channel. Full inside tour of a couple of hotels more from Med Playa. And we've seen that its overall capacity of more than 90%, the occupancy is at its tops. And many of the hotels are fully booked already these days. Full groups arriving, full groups departing. It just changes nonstop. Buses packed up with tourists are just passing like this around Benidorm. So plenty of people on the Levante beach, Poniente beach, Old Town, city center, Rincon de Lodge, everywhere you go, surrounding villages. Quite a lot of people because obviously the peak summer season has started already. And with this, with so many people arriving, comes the first main news, which is about the authentic shame that happened in one of Benidorm pubs just a day or two ago. Many people are arriving to Spain. In between these people, you never know who they might be. There's lawyers, there's doctors, there's architects, there's touristic workers, hotel industry workers. There's a little bit of everything, obviously. But some of these people, whenever they arrive here to Benidorm for some reason, although not as often as previously it was the previous decades, just lose control because they're not in their home country. They feel like no one's watching them, but they forget that social media exists, that different types of apps exist with videos like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so Twitter. So many places exist that are able to caption every single moment of your holidays here in the area. And this is what happened to one of the people who probably will get in trouble, or maybe not since it was in Benidorm, but the news already was published by a British newspaper. This is the article that we have in the Spanish newspapers, and in quite a lot of them, I would say at least 3 or 4. Basically, this is a British tourist, 30 years old, who was celebrating slightly too much its holidays in Benidorm town. This person was making a pee-pee on a scene of a pub. He jumped onto the scene and he was showing his body parts and making pee-pee publicly in this pub. And then when security came to stop him and arrest him and take him until the police probably arrives, he ran away. But obviously there's captions everywhere in the newspaper showing his face and how he ran away. It wouldn't be as much of a big deal, although it still is, don't get me wrong. But this person is a police officer in UK. this person is a valid, like registered active police officer in UK. And you would think that these people should show an example of how to behave. But they're the first ones who bring shame to those of their own profession. And for some reason, no one's published his name from Spain, obviously, but British newspapers somehow located this, or maybe it was due to any kind of account on the social media, how they found out his name. But the fact is that they already know who he is, that he's a active police officer, by the way. Absolute shame. People forget that we are in digital era, and that if before, years ago and decades ago, what happened in Benidorm stayed in Benidorm, like Las Vegas, nowadays, what happens in Benidorm does not stay in Benidorm at all. It is everywhere. So you need to think twice before you lose control on holidays like this. And since this might bring quite a lot of issues into your personal and professional life. So many people, for some reason, forget that, and then the issues actually arise. And this is not the only thing that happens. For some reason, it's not as often as it used to be. People are way more civilized nowadays. It's a different types of tourism. There's still drunk tourism, don't get me wrong. There's still Hindu stock parties, etc. That's all here, but it is not as visible as it used to be. So whenever things like these happen, it is shocking for a lot of people. That is why it appeared not only in Spanish press, but in UK press and British press as well. The last news I wanted to share with you all comes from the latest decision of European Union to actually support the extra charges of the low-cost airlines for the hand luggage. Let us know here in the comment section, how many of you have traveled with low-cost companies? And how many of you were charged, or it's slightly more of luggage weight, or they say your bag didn't fit and they made you pay for it to go into the like bottom part of the plane? Because this happens to a lot of people. And recently, just some months ago, the Consumers Organization issued a fine. It was around 170 million or billion euros. It was like a huge amount, crazy amount, probably 170 something million euros, divided, like split into several companies. There was Ryanair, there was Vueling, and a few other low cost considered airlines. Why? Because they were charging abusive fees for a hand luggage. Not the one that is like a bag that you're able to have like put under your seat or the seat in front of you, but the one that is like a cabin luggage properly. So many charges, abusive charges for the seat selection, extras, and much, much more, which brings the price of your ticket way higher than what you initially see when you just went up to the first step of booking. Companies obviously said they are trying to eliminate this fine, and at the same time, out of around 27 countries like in Europe that voted, only a few ones, but including Spain was one of the few countries that refused and that said no to this type of charges. But the thing is that since we are a minority, there were only like 2-3 other countries with Spain who said no to this new measure. All the rest said yes to the airlines. And I wonder why that is. But the fact is that now it's going to go to a parliament. So that's going to be the final decision. If they will say yes, which kind of looks like it's going to be, we will have extra costs for the cabin luggage to handle, as if tickets to the like airplane tickets will be cheap, you know? We will have extra additional costs. Also, one of the things would be to be able to increase the timing of delay. Right now, a lot of companies have to pay you a compensation if it's more than 3 hours, but now they want to delay this time and they want to put it from 4 to 6 hours minimum delay time to actually be in need of paying you a compensation for waiting. All of these new measures are great for a company, but they're bad for the tourists and for the regular consumers of flights. Not sure why it's the reason, as if they don't get enough profit right now. For some reason, it is the case. Hopefully, it's not going to be approved, but something tells us it probably will be the case. So, also changing the details on your ticket number on your flight, like ticket, 48 hours prior to the departure. They will charge for this. In Spain, it is forbidden, as a few other things, but if it's going to be allowed, they will even charge for that. People probably will still be using it because people need to fly to specific destinations. They won't are not able to go by vehicle or any other kind of transport. They will need to use these, but if costs will be already too much, it's not going to be a low cost company any longer. And people probably will switch to better companies that are not low cost considered, but that offer a great service, way better quality for the same amount of money. Let us know what you think here in the comment section. Would you still use a low cost airline knowing that they charge you abusive extra charges? We'll read you in the comments. And now let's continue with the weather forecast. What's happening right now here in Spain? We do not have any kind of heat waves. And as you can see here on the screen, this is what we've seen today. It was quite busy in the central streets and on the beach of Levante. There were plenty of people, a lot of sunbeds occupied, all the front line was occupied too. And honestly, the weather is really nice. We've had some clouds, so we thought it's going to be chilly, and it was for a second. But then once the sun came out, it was really hot outside, even for us locals. Not any kind of heat wave whatsoever, but still around 30 something degrees on the sunshine, we will definitely have. Today, we've had around 29 real degrees, but the feel was of 32, 33. Sunshine, plenty of sunshine, no rain, no storms, just a little bit of clouds mid this week, like Wednesday, Thursday. But that's that. That's the maximum that it will get to. All the rest is a sunny blue sky. And the temperatures will remain more or less the same between 27 degrees and 32. That's like the typical average temperature here. But since it's so warm, the water temperature increased really fast. And now it's already 22.7 degrees, which means that if you like swimming in the sea, even for us locals, it's a gorgeous, very comfy water temperature to spend a day on the beach. Thank you for accompanying us in today's Benidorm News Update. We wish you a great day and we'll see you here on the channel very soon. Bye.